Welcome back to probably the most exciting Hooligans Pitch episode we've had thus far.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. All right, keep going. Sorry. Just had to get that out.
Look, I can't even hide the excitement, and you're getting goosebumps over there. I mean, look, in honor of this occasion,
let's go! What a surprise!
I'll support any team that can just murder Man United that way.
We're red today. We're all red today. Whew! Okay, we got a lot to talk about. Chad, hope you had a good. Let's crack this beer. Let's get to work.
Yeah, get into it.
I'm going quick here. Haze Tron Imperial IPA, purple beer Deschutes, delicious, 8%. There it is.
Yeah, I'm tried and true Juicy Haze. It's just kind of my go-to these days.
It's such an easy go-to.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? There's so much to talk about because last weekend we just had a football weekend, and this weekend we had a fucking football weekend.
Yeah. Well, let's get the boring stuff out of the way of FA Cup round of 16. Leicester out to Blackburn, Tottenham out to Sheffield United, Southampton out to Grimsby.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah. I will mention that our goal of the week last week, Solomon, scored the exact same goal in the FA Cup.
I had to make sure I wasn't pulling the wrong one because we have like an order. Now I'm like, wait, was this actually the right one? It was, yeah. But I did double check it because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, wild to score the same goal twice in a row, but
good for him. He's on a tear, absolute tear,
for sure. Yeah, those three teams that went out, they rotated a bit, but like you're still playing teams in leagues below you, so you should win. It's never good to go out to a team in leagues below, you know.
and shout outs to Tottenham for losing to Sheffield. Beautiful thing.
It's great stuff. Their last remaining chance at a trophy, technically Premier League is an opportunity, but it's not going to happen. Otherwise, Champions League is their option. So
wow, they're still in it.
Might as well just chalk it up to another trophyless season.
Chalk it up now, boys. Chalk it up.
Yeah.
It's done. I just want to start with this. The definition of united. It's coming together for a common purpose, and they came together for us this weekend in a really big way.
Truly united, yes.
Truly united weekend we just had. Can we just start talking about it? I just want to go hard on this game. We have to. It's the biggest story of possibly the year. The worst defeat ever for Manchester United. Mo Salah breaking the record for most goals scored for Liverpool. We had a Gakpo Nunez sandwich. Braces all around.
Yeah.
What?
Just incredible. And look, like last week, I remember I was telling you, you got the draw at Crystal Palace, and you were feeling kind of meh about it. And I was like, look, 3 unbeaten. That's a pretty good run. Then they went to had Wolves in the weekend or the midweek. Got the win there. That's 4. Now you're at 5 unbeaten. You're on a run.
We're on a run. Run for the top 4. And call me crazy. Are we making a run for the title?
That might be crazy. Hey
man,
you got a lot of ground to make up if that's going to happen.
I don't disagree with you, but we are now at this moment the second best team in Premier League. The second best. That was a full roster we just had for the first time in months.
Yeah.
Everyone is locked in. I saw this 2 weeks ago when we started to see this kind of unbeaten run. Yes, I was nervous because of the Madrid thing, but you know what? Madrid is worried. They're not scared, but they're worried about what could potentially happen.
Yeah. I really wish those Champions League fixtures were flipped.
Damn.
Because I think had this one been the home game coming off of the Man United game, that would have been that could have been the comeback. See them through the next round. Not that it still can't happen, but you're doing it in a way now.
The fact that they can just put 7 by you before you know it because they scored 7 goals after the 42nd minute.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
There's like so many moments from that game that are just hilarious.
I know we could go. There's so much content in this game. Where did we really start?
I'm gonna start first half on this.
Okay.
Because like coming into it, first half I think was more competitive from both sides, but I think Liverpool definitely still looked better.
There were pockets though where when I went back and watched the whole game, I was like, if you would have told me at the 32nd minute you're gonna win 7-0, I would have said we might win 2-1.
Yeah, 7 was never a thought. even like a 4-0 was not a thought at that point. But like, I thought Liverpool looked pretty good. Like, maybe not 100% to old Liverpool, but maybe 80, 85, 90% of the way there. Like you said, you're getting pretty much all your starters back now. I think everyone was making like really good runs, a lot more energy in the team than I think we had seen in the start of the season and stuff. So like everything was kind of clicking. Man, you had a look or two at goal, but
we played defense that game. We were on the ball. Having Virgil with Konate in the back is just it's so good. And then just a full energized Robertson is a menace to everyone. He's like, it's kind of been a while since I've seen that kind of, I don't know, that energy with the back four where I've seen a lot of left backs. I'm like, oh, he's not at his best. Now I'm like, oh, I wouldn't take anyone else. Sorry.
Yeah, he's looking good again. I mean, I think it always helps going up against United. It's, that historic rivalry between the two clubs. So it kind of, I mean, typically I'd say it works for both squads to fire them up. But on this day, I think only Liverpool is the only one that got fired up. But
insane. So I just want to read you the stat really quick. So the first year Mo Salah came into the team, outstanding year. We probably should have won the league that year, but City was ridiculous. We'll call it that. Why not? The front three of Mane, Firmino, and Salah scored a grand total of 57 goals, 32 from Salah, 15 from Firmino, and 10 from Mane. Their best season, the year they won, we had 19 from Salah, 18 from Mane, and 9 from Firmino. Call me crazy. I think we can, not this season, but next season, we, if not match those same numbers or pass them. Especially Gakpo and Nunez have chances to skyrocket those numbers with Salah just being Salah. He's going to be 20 goals, I think, no matter what. Those other guys have huge potential to really come up. And after yesterday's, whatever day it was, that performance, it just shows there's so much potential there.
Oh, yeah. And I think, with Nunez, we've known it for a while that he has the striking instinct in him. It just wasn't really clicking as quickly or as well as you would want to at the start of the season. And then, Gakpo coming into kind of a tough challenge, like Liverpool in a bad spot, so many injuries that he couldn't really ease into the team. He was just kind of thrown into the deep end. But I mean, over this game and I think the past couple, he's definitely looked more comfortable, and Nunez as well is getting better about passing and I think taking smarter shots and just being in better positions. But
no one's looking greedy. And when you're not greedy, everyone scores 2 goals. Can't get better than that. It can't.
I mean, it's just complete, utter domination. Like, you look around at that United team kind of after the first goal, and it's just there's no real team structure there anymore. They're all seems to be all over the place. Like, Liverpool come out the second half and score basically right away. They scored 6 goals in one half. If you're Man United,
7. 7.
How do you let any team score 6 goals on you in 90 minutes, let alone 45?
They quit on each other, Chad. They quit on each other, starting with their captain.
Oh, poor Bruno.
Hey, I got Kristen. She was like, "What is Bruno doing?" As I was rewatching the game yesterday, I said, "That's classic Bruno."
He checked out. I didn't see the footage, but I guess when I think Rashford comes off, Bruno makes some hand gesture to the line of like, "Why am I not going off?" sort of thing. Um,
I didn't know. I don't know if I recognize. I didn't see that when it happened.
yeah, I didn't see it when it happened, but I've seen people kind of talk about it online, and like, if that's the case, like, that's your captain. Like, even if he's putting in a stinker of a performance, he's still got to be the guy to try and keep some organization out there, so it isn't going to be a 7-0 game. But
I don't see Henderson ever acting like that.
no. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bruno dropped for a game or two here, and I mean, I think you have to. You can't just walk him into the dressing room and say, "Well, guys, like, wasn't our day," and move on. Like, this is something where you got to like
This is
sit
deeper.
people down one on one.
How much do you think Man United is kicking themselves for not buying Gakpo and instead having Anthony on the side just doing circles around the ball? Do you think that's a $100 million mistake that they made? Considering we got him for 35, 40, whatever it was.
I mean, yeah, the Gakpo deal is great. Like, I know Arsenal was looking at him a little bit. Yeah, Man United was probably the leader in that race, but I mean, Anthony, yeah, he's comes in, does a few step overs.
He did nothing. He did nothing that game. I mean, to be fair, no one did anything, but like he really stood out and did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. Like, I guess maybe the system doesn't work for him or something. But and I get it's his first season of Premier League, so it takes time to adapt and all that. But when your price tag is 90 million or whatever they end up paying for him,
around
like,
100, yeah.
You're held to a level where it's like you get a few games to settle in, but then you need to get going, like at least contribute in some form of the build up,
It's wild.
Ugh.
Absolutely
But I think
wild.
my favorite part of this match, like some of the goals are just hilarious because it's just like a random like deflection right into Salah, or like easy pass to Salah, or Firmino's
The
goal.
Firmino one was just so like, give me the ball, turn around, and shoot. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, what they say? You don't even care.
But there's at the 75th minute, United fans are shown leaving.
Yes,
leaving
I recall this.
the stands. And it's incredible that they have missed a further 2 goals beyond that. Like, they left at 5 and said, you know what, fuck this. Like, it's too much. And I can't imagine their face when they get home or they're on the train or whatever and get the notification that 2 more goals have gone in on your team. It's like, what the hell is going on?
I mean, so I was busy stat tracking a game, and I saw when it was 2-0, I was like, sweet, that is awesome. And then I mean, it wasn't that long. 30 minutes later, I refreshed my who scored, and it said 7. And I was like, huh? I had to like pick up my phone and like actually like go through the score line just to kind of see who scored. And I was like, 7. And this girl next to me, the goalkeeper for the team, she's a Liverpool fan too. She goes, "Did you see Liverpool scored 7 against me?" I was like, yes. So that was just crazy. So now let's talk about the game itself in terms of why Man United was this terrible.
Yeah.
Why Liverpool clicked here. Was this more of a Man United just gave up once Liverpool got 2? Because that's what it looked like. It looks like they just didn't care after that. And how do they move past this?
I mean, yeah, Man U was the team in form, right? Like,
last week we said they were arguably the best team in the Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, they've been cruising. I think they had something like 17 wins in the last 22 or something like that. Like, they were quote unquote title contenders and like gonna do the quadruple. Like, slow down. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, really, like. It hurts to give a goal away right before half. Like, that changes things a lot. But then to come out second half and basically give a goal up right away. Okay, down 2-0, but you're still Man United. You're still full strength squad out there. You're not missing any key player. You got to have some coordination and structure, and I don't know if this was just players got frustrated and then didn't listen to the tactics that they had been training, or what, or if this was just how it was set up. I mean, they were set up a little bit strange in that Bruno was on the left wing, Rashford was up top, and Weghorst was right below him.
Yeah, they're experimenting at the worst time.
Yeah, so I mean that maybe plays a part in it, but
no, I don't give that. I don't give that excuse though. That wasn't a that wasn't a 7-0 excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Like if that does anything, it hurts maybe their goal scoring chances, and maybe allows Salah into dangerous positions on that wing. But 7-0. I mean, you can't. Yeah, where do you go?
Hey, we only score 7 against Bournemouth and Man United. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. I do want to say this though. This year, Man United, of course, has been on a very successful run, but these are the teams they've lost to. I'm going to go in descending order from present to past. Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, which is probably the surprise of the bunch, even though they've been coming up.
Yeah.
Manchester City, Brighton, and Brentford. Those are all top 8 teams. They're winning against the bottom of the table, which is a hot mess. I get it, they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, but they're not beating any of the best teams in the league.
No, yeah, and that's the thing that will keep them out of truly being in the title race, right? Like, even though it is still Liverpool, and it was Liverpool with more of a full strength squad than they've had all season, like, these are the kind of games you need to at least get a draw from, at least grab something from, if you're really going to be up there challenging for the title. So I don't know. I think Ten Hag has to. I think it's more of like a one-on-one, come into the room, like, we got to talk about this game, and not a just team talk sort of deal, because like they were just failures all over the pitch. Like, your back line is
Swiss.
Like Lisandro Martinez has been great. Varane has been pretty good, but he's very experienced in his career, has won a lot, and like, he got beat so hard by Gakpo on that first goal. Like, you can't be doing that. Lisandro Martinez just jogs a different way.
He played so bad. It was great.
It's just, I think they're probably lucky to not leave this game losing either Martinez or Shaw through a red card, honestly.
And Bruno should have got a card too. That's a whole nother story.
Bruno should be suspended anyway for push on the ref.
He should. I don't get how that can happen and there's no repercussion.
Yeah, like, I get it wasn't like a push, but it wasn't a pat on the back. It was a frustration, like, kind of like shove, right?
Yeah, what example does that set for the rest of the league?
Exactly. I mean, not even the league alone, but all the young Man United fans that watch this and maybe idolize Bruno to a certain level, and now you see him pushing a ref. So then, like, do you think that's cool? Like,
his reputation went down so much.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. It's whatever.
Oh no, it's fine. But I mean, I think as the reffing body, like, you want protection for your refs, right? That's why you're getting on Arsenal about crowding the ref and finding them. But then you're going to just let players, like, push you guys around? Why?
We'll see. They have a couple days to let the people know. But yeah, that was awesome. The only downside of that game for a Liverpool fan was watching that fan run on the field and slide tackle and take out Robertson and who was it? Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
He's
banned from life for all stadiums. Criminal charges are being pressed.
16,
he's 16.
16, and he'll probably find a way to get into a game, but like, ostensibly he's banned. Like, was that worth it? And then, like, I text you, like, he's getting walked past Klopp, and Klopp's letting him have it. Dude must have been shitting his pants. Like, we've seen Klopp angry from afar.
I think that's the maddest I think that's the maddest I've ever seen him. And fine, like, this time it's like, like, I think every coach should be that mad as what he was displaying. I don't know what he was thinking. I couldn't actually see the fan running on the field,
No,
right? There's
I
only an
haven't seen
angle
any
of
angles of
the
that.
players on the ground grabbing their ankles. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I thought it was like they all jumped on each
That's what
other and
I
then like
thought.
someone landed weird, but
I hope they're fine. Like they say they're fine, but like you never know. Just stupid. It's so stupid.
yeah.
It's dumb kid. God.
Well,
Awful.
he's paying the price now.
There was a moment within the 20th minute where Alisson went to drive the ball downfield, and it's a classic slip and
He
fall. And
slipped.
I was like,
I was
"Oh
like, here
shit!"
we
I was
go.
like,
I wanted something to
I
come from
did
it
too.
so bad.
I'm getting goosebumps again just thinking about it because I was like, "Oh shit, here it comes!" Because when I was rewatching the game, I was trying not to like. I don't remember when they scored. I just know 7 were coming, and I was like paying attention heavily at that moment. I was like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't because they had a really good attack there. It collapsed over time. After the first goal, go back and rewatch this. Nunez and Gakpo had the weirdest hug I've ever seen in my life.
I rewatched the highlights last night just to like, but they did it. I think after maybe 2 or 3 of the goals.
They had a handshake. They did a handshake, but if you go watch after the first goal, Nunez like tucks Gakpo like underneath him. And then like Gakpo doesn't know how to get out, and it just looked like the most awkward situation. Like they need to practice that one. I think by goal number 2, 3, 4, etc., they got better at it. Yeah, they know. They're like, oh my god! Like I get it. But yeah, that was crazy. I just was dying to talk about this game with you. As last night I was sitting on my computer just like this. 7.
I mean, there's a lot of good moments in this weekend, but like this was one of those games where whether you're a Liverpool fan or neutral, it was just one of those unbelievable games. Even as a United fan, like unbelievable, but in the wrong way, right? But
I haven't even read our banter chat because I'm like I know they're probably upset. At least I think it's just Jordan's brother in there, Anthony, that is complaining, but he's been so gung-ho too these last couple weeks. So
I mean, yeah, like, and he might as well have been. They were on a good run, and like all runs will come to an end, but to come to an end 7-0 against a rival club like this, that's not a good look.
Nope.
Not a good look at all.
So now Liverpool's sitting pretty right now in the table. I believe we're going to make a huge run at Tottenham pretty soon to take that 4th spot. We were like 9th like 10 days ago or something, so it just goes to show how much can happen in a couple of days. And who knows, by next week I might be crying again. I don't know anymore, but I mean, when there's hope in your heart.
I think you got Bournemouth next, so it's all lining up.
Oh, it is Bournemouth next, yeah.
To be just either another blowout or Liverpool gets crushed that game because,
So can we just segue this into the Bournemouth game? Because before this 7-0 defeat, I was ready to just like talk so much shit about how you guys barely got by Bournemouth. And now I'm not going to because I'm like, we're celebrating. We're both because I was more going to do it if we lost. And like, I'm like, well, don't look at us. You guys barely beat Bournemouth and we beat them 9-0. But no, we're going to celebrate your victory too. Bournemouth currently sits last in the table. Y'all beat them on a last minute shot. Is that the type of game that could drive you to title mentality, even though it was a last place team? Like, as a fan, like, what was that game for you like?
I mean, it starts pretty much as worse as the worst way it could, right? They score off their kickoff strategy, which full credit I think is 9 seconds, 11 seconds or something. Like, full credit to them. They clearly worked on this, and got a goal from it. And I think Arsenal just started too slow, too disorganized, and no one really tracked any real runners or anything, and the ball just kind of like finds its way in front of goal, which a bummer. And I don't know, not the way to start a game, but also kind of the best time to let in the goal because you have a full game to get it back, right?
True. And they're going to possess the whole game anyway, so you're most likely going to score more than one.
I started off annoyed, but understood there was plenty of time left. So which I think maybe led to some of the chances that Arsenal let up. Is that like for 90 minutes they were just pushed so high and wanting to get the goals so much that they kind of just forgot defensive responsibility. Because Bournemouth, got through I think around like 20 minutes, and maybe had another one in the first half where it's like Ramsdale made some really big saves to keep the game at 1-0 going into half. And had they gotten two in that first half, I don't know that this comeback happens. So yeah, I think I went in first half like fine, like annoyed that there was still no goal, but it was always going to be one of those games where Bournemouth just places their whole team in front of the goal, and you got to try and find the small gap. So it was going to be tough, but again, Arsenal was dominant, had the ball for so long, so many shots. I think they ended the game with like 31 shots or something like that.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, ridiculous. Odegaard himself had 11 shots.
He took 11 shots.
Only 3 made it on target, but still, like they're shooting. They're trying.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then I think it's like the 56th minute. Bournemouth get their corner. Thomas Partey just loses his guy completely, and now Arsenal down 2-0 with half an hour to go, and now it's like, now I was already annoyed, but now it's just like the disappointment was kind of setting in of not only losing to Bournemouth, but losing the 5-point gap to Bournemouth, like losing it this way at home to a team that you should be beating is just like the worst way to throw away the very vital 5-point gap we have over City right now.
So I was getting ready to leave for work around that time, and I just heard a shit in the living room, and I was like, I picked out like, 2-0, and then yeah, so that's just where my head was at the 57th minute, as I knew it was 2-0, and Arsenal was in trouble.
Yeah.
So
and Trossard went off injured in the first half, so I mean, really, I guess we're on our fourth choice striker of Martinelli in the center striking position. So, things were going from bad to worse to like worse still. But, luckily it's hard to defend for an entire game, and, you can waste as much time as you need, but unfortunately that will come back and bite you sometimes, and here we are. You get I think Bournemouth I think scored 55, 56. Arsenal I think went 60, 61. They got their goal.
Yep.
So then it was like, all right, game on, like at least get the draw out of this, right? Because then it's a 3-point gap ahead of City. It's a little bit more manageable and not as bad as a loss. And then we finally get a Ben White goal. Everyone's been waiting for
one.
Benny Blanco to.
He looks so happy.
It's so weird because you see him in interviews and stuff, and he's very just like not robotic, but
nonchalant.
Yeah, like just cool guy. And then here he scores, and you like actually see some emotion from him, and it's like, all right, like that meant a lot to him to actually get the goal finally. Yeah,
it's a real person. Yeah.
But then, man, it's just the final 20 minutes onwards is just a full onslaught.
So how do you feel about that injury time? Right, appropriate amount, and let's go to go non-biased. Okay.
No, I think so because it went up for 6 minutes, and like immediately when it went up for 6 minutes, one of the Bournemouth players just goes down hurt, and like if you are hurt, fair, but that's why we add time on. If you're not hurt, it's just you're playing a dangerous game, right? Either that game ends at 96 or the ref adds on the time you're now wasting, right?
I agree with you. I did watch the last roughly 10 minutes of that game to see, because I was like, they scored at the 96 and Kristen was like, they're in injury time. I was like, hey, I got to see like how much was given. So I think it was fair. There was just another game this week, which we'll talk about later, that they should have given more time, and the whistle was blown inside the 18 box. I don't know if you know what game this was, but I was like, whoa.
No, not that I can remember, but
it was Wolves Tottenham. So I was kind of shocked that's where that game was called, and like this ref let this one go on. It's just, again, there's just no consistency with when they do it. So again, it's in the ref's favor when he wants to.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's you got to take your opportunities, right? So as long as that final whistle hasn't been blown, like keep trying, keep pushing for it, and Arsenal did, and this corner, I think it gets kicked at like the 96-30 or something. So like you're still in that added time because of the stoppage at the start of injury time.
Well, and then the goal kick previous to that took almost 30 seconds.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're going to continue to waste time, the ref should be accounting for that still. I think it would have been incredibly harsh to, call the game after the clearance on that corner as it falls to Reece Nelson. But I mean, I guess it, if it happened in the Tottenham game, it can certainly happen here. But thank God he didn't blow that whistle, because Reece Nelson just falls to him, and I feel like it was one of those time stopped things, and it's just like this like little like swell of like, and everyone's like shoo, and then it's just like hits it and just rocket, and just whole place explodes. Incredible. I was on my couch chilling, and it's just kind of like it's not gonna happen. Then it goes in, and I like jumps up, and I was like,
I believe it. Kristen texted me, said that was the most exciting Arsenal game she's ever seen. Small sample size, but I would agree with that. That she caught a good one.
Yeah.
Goal of the week.
I mean,
whoa! There's a debate.
There's no debate. It would be my choice, but I did track down some others just for all right, transparency's sake and trying to play a fair field.
I don't know, man. The context behind that one is pretty clear. Pretty clear.
I think, we have to. I mean,
I didn't see anything much better, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
I do want to run some numbers by you here.
Hit me.
So we got a few other notable wingers on rival teams. Mudryk, we know, so far has played 180 minutes of Premier League action. No goals, no assists. Cost 70 million or so, maybe even some add-ons in there. Anthony, crowd favorite. Has played 1,004 minutes of Premier League action.
Should I be writing this down? Is this?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Unless you really want to.
I kind of do. Wait. Mudryk has played 180 minutes?
180 minutes. That's no goals, no assists. Not at all, no. Anthony, 1,004 minutes. He has 3 goals, 0 assists, and costs somewhere in the 90 to 100 million range. Richarlison has played 660 minutes for Tottenham in the Premier League. No goals, 2 assists, costs about 60 million. Reece Nelson has played 85 minutes in Premier League this season. He has 3 goals, 2 assists, and is an academy player, so basically free. Which is just like such an incredible. I mean, 85 minutes is such a small sample size, so his goal to minute ratio is incredible. But
it's like best in the league.
It's hilarious to see that, and I mean, to get this goal feels like it's worth 5 goals for what it did for Arsenal.
For sure, his salary just went up for clutch moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that ball was sliced perfectly. Was that his weak foot? I was told it was.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, he's pretty technical, like pretty good with both feet, but I think for shots, especially like a powerful shot, like right foot's is definitely his main option. But,
okay. Well, exciting. We got our teams had some exciting games for us.
Yeah, that's it. Podcast is over. I got nothing else to
I
say.
didn't. I was like, I don't even want to talk about anyone else. Let's just keep talking about our teams and how great they did. Awesome. Is that Arsenal's first like comeback of the year?
No, not necessarily. I think first from 2 goals down.
Okay. Oh, sure. I'm sorry. That's what I should have phrased it as. Was that their first comeback with being down 2-0?
Yeah. I think that was the first for 2 goals down. Because we definitely had like some little comeback action. I think against United, the one that Arsenal won. I think we went down initially.
Right. 1-0 Rashford.
Yeah, and there might have been. The Aston Villa game. We went down pretty early.
Okay.
So, so there's definitely been some comebacks, but like, I mean, if you're gonna be a title-winning side, like, you need to be able to do that. You can't go down and then let 6 more goals in and just wrap it up.
Shout outs. Shout outs to our Red Devils.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who do you want to shit on next? You want to shit on Chelsea next? Or you want to shit on Tottenham next?
Let's go Tottenham.
All right, let's go Tottenham. So Tottenham lost to the Wolves. Shout outs Jose Sa for playing outstanding.
And some like really acrobatic
saves,
too.
Man, he was leaping and lunging and flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Tottenham, to no one's surprise, didn't score, had no creativity, did nothing for me to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a top 4 team.
I will say they got a little bit unlucky. Like, I think they had 2 or 3 shots go off the post and crossbar, but again, Jose Sa was everywhere, so he very well could have just saved those shots had they been, an inch lower. But I mean, yeah, it looked like the Tottenham we've seen all season, where just they don't have a lot of hope, I guess, right? Like, you get into games, and if Harry Kane is having an off day, like, that's it. Son is not in great form. Richarlison hasn't scored a goal. Kulusevski's not done too much either now. Like, where are your goals going to come from if not Kane?
That's a great question, Chad, and I don't have an answer to it. Traore's goal was awesome, though.
It was weird.
It was weird. It had a weird spin on it, like floated and kind of like just.
It was like, some weird like jump, but not your normal kind of like volley kick or anything.
Yeah, I think he hit it. He hit it with more of his heel, so that's what kind of.
It was strange, but hey, whatever works. It went in.
It fooled Forster into not really moving.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, I was like, if Lloris was in there, would he have saved it? I was like, no, probably not, because that was such a weird hit ball.
Yeah. I mean, but Wolves, I think, started kind of okay, kind of not great, but second half they were kind of all over Tottenham. They were. I mean, Ruben Neves, I think, took 3 shots from far out, and each one got closer.
I really like him.
I think he probably moves soon.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping the Wolves to get relegated so he would be on the market. Yeah, but at this point, I mean, we talked about this a couple days ago, 12 to 20. You don't know. At this point, our predictions of who's going to get relegated could be 100% wrong or 100% right. There is no rhyme or reason why Crystal Palace, Wolves, Forest, all in the 12, 13, 14 spots won't get relegated at the end of the season. I don't know. You just don't know. I mean,
Wolves, if they continue to play how they've been playing, I think will stay up, but they just need to score.
They've won 1 game in their last 4.
Yeah, but like they're making pretty good runs and have pretty good movement out there. And if Jose Sa can do this again and again,
but they're beating teams like Tottenham. I mean, come on.
You're right. They lost to Liverpool in the midweek. So, there you go. It's not so easy for them, I guess. But
all right, out of the 12 through 20, who give me one team who will not get relegated? You'll stand by that fact.
Not get relegated.
You'll stand by it, 100%.
100% not get relegated. Jeez, this is tough.
That is tough. And I'm going to just say one more thing. I think we've chosen all those teams besides Crystal Palace to not get relegated. I think at
Yeah,
one point we've said all of them.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. um, I think I'm gonna.
I'm gonna write mine down to see if our brains are on the same page.
Oh man, I just keep looking at like current points and then like goal differential, and I think I got one, and then I see another one, but I think if I had to stick my name to one to survive for sure, I think I'm going to go with Leicester.
Oh, Leicester. Just because of goal differential? I see that -7 up there.
A little bit that, and I mean, as long as James Madison can stay healthy, he creates a lot of opportunities for them. But I mean, they just don't need to finish them. But yeah, like Wolves have looked good, but they just don't really score. Forest is okay. You're going Forest, huh?
They spent too much money to get relegated.
It's fair. It's
I
fair.
think they will do everything it takes, and I think that just that little bit of willpower of saying we spent hundreds of millions on you.
The manager just goes in every day and said, "We spent 120 million. We're not going down."
I think it could work. I think it could work.
Yeah.
Um,
I do have another fun stat for you before we move on from this game.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So Wolves next
Watford.
game.
Whew.
Yeah, well, the W's got weird. Wolves next game will be March 12th. At that point, because they got a goal from this game, but it was not a striker. So by the time the next game plays, their strikers will not have scored a goal in a calendar year.
That's crazy. Who was the last one to score?
Last striker to score was Jimenez against Watford, March 10th last year. So their highest scorers since that match, Ruben Neves with 5, Podence with 5, and then that big own goal got 3.
Oh, jeez.
So as good as Wolves are kind of looking in overall play, if you don't got strikers scoring, and Ruben Neves is really kind of a deeper lying midfield player, like he can't be your main goal scorer.
No.
Or maybe he can, and you just put him up in the striking position, and like it could work. I don't know, but that's not a good sign. And I think they had 3 or 4 different striker options at this point, and they just can't do it. Can't get it in.
They had a young dude. Shoot, I can't remember his name now, but he was a Portuguese dude, young, looked like he had some potential, and then they transferred him out.
Yeah.
Fabio.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I thought he was going to be all right. He was lengthy, had some pace, and then just never got in with first team.
Yeah, so. I mean, Jimenez, ever since his head injury, has just been different. So, like,
sucks.
Fair enough. Like that was pretty significant. Diego Costa they brought in, but he's definitely at the tail end of his career, so not the same as we've seen him before. And then I think they did sign a new striker over the summer, but he like tore his ACL in the first game or something. So bad luck on that one. But yeah, glad they got the win over Tottenham.
Me too. Makes things real spicy at the top 6.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Now with Liverpool's win, definitely right in the mix. Newcastle still has 2 games in hand, really, but they've looked pretty bad.
Poor. They've looked awful. They have nothing going for them right now. Which is wild.
They aren't performing, and like, I guess we'll just jump into that game. like I guess first half they kind of had some options, but again, you're not starting Saint Maximin or Isak like. And when they came on, they looked way more threatening, but it was just too little, too late. Like I don't understand the thinking behind that. Like Colin Wilson can't be your starting striker. Like he he runs a lot, he gets in good positions, but like he had a clear opportunity in this game and just blew it. And against City, especially, you need those.
Yeah, I want to think that they're easing them into things, but at the same time, it's like, do they want to make Champions League? Because at the beginning of this, or not, maybe a month ago, we were like, oh, top four for sure. I was going as high as top two because they were just such a steady rock in the back, not letting in goals, winning 1-0. You only need to win 1-0. That's fine. But now they're not scoring, so they can't win. Like that's just stopped. They stopped scoring anything in the last, God, it feels like since the new year. So I don't know. I mean, that's an odd team.
Yeah, and like Bruno, ever since he came back from his suspension, has looked terrible, which leaves me in a hard spot with my fantasy team because he's not done much for me. Tielemans at Leicester is apparently out for 6 weeks now, so what do? I don't know. Foden though, back in form, back in the team.
I'm telling you, he's going to be a huge help to Haaland too. Even though Haaland didn't do much, he's the presence of those two. I think make a huge difference. Bernardo Silva's. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to float this out there that I've been thinking a crazy thought. I almost want to get rid of Haaland in my team to put Foden in the midfields. And then that striking position would be, I don't know, maybe one of Nunez or Gakpo. But then am I going to shoot myself in the foot by not having Haaland because once I get rid of him, he's going to start scoring hatties every game again?
I think that's a smart move to make. I really do. Because because now Foden's playing with you, you're at least going to get the team goals or at least the assists because that's who Haaland wants the balls from. So I don't know. I don't think that's the worst move to make.
I mean, I'm just thinking because Haaland is kind of slowed down.
For sure.
So at this point, like...
Until tomorrow.
I mean, I picked him to just kind of keep in line with everyone, but then now it's I'm not... The table, our fantasy table's not really moving. Like, everyone's kind of...
I know. It's
in a position and just kind of sat there. So I don't know. I'm mulling it over. I think I'll probably go for it because I got to do something. Like, it's tough. And then, I already had to get rid of Thiago Silva, so just kind of in a tight spot with that midfield now.
Well, I'm stuck with Silva, so
yeah. Sal, you're riding that out.
I have no more subs.
Yeah, no,
not much I can do. I got to say though, Nunez scoring more than Mitrovic has in one game than his whole half season for me. So
smart move.
I think I'm gonna hold top 5. I think I'm 60 points up on the 5th spot. I don't see anyone really catching me unless things absolutely fall apart. But the top Theo's making a run.
My gosh.
Quiet Theo over there. Man, he's really making a push. Who's getting all his points? Like, how does he have... I guess not. He didn't have 30 more, but he has a chunk more than a lot of people.
I mean, he just has some good picks here. I mean, I don't know. Like, his team's not crazy in any department, but I think he just has some players that grab a lot of points consistently. So, and I mean, this week had the midweek games and stuff. True. So,
no more Tielemans though, right? Tielemans is out.
Apparently has a ankle injury so is out for like 6 weeks or so.
Ouch.
Which that's the thing that like kept me from just jumping on to Leicester as my pick to stay up right away is that while Tielemans hasn't necessarily been incredible for them this season, I think he is a pretty key component of them being successful in scoring goals. And him and Madison in there would have been nice, but Now you got 6 weeks without him, and you gotta hang on and make something happen. Yeah.
Want a segue?
You got to go away.
All right. I'll start with this stat. As of Saturday, 8 a.m., who had more goals in the 2023 season, Chelsea or Lukaku?
Lukaku.
That is correct.
What he had two. Right?
Two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't anything crazy. I just wanted to point that out, that I saw that stat and said that is insane. All right, I got one more for you, Chad. In the top 7 leagues in Europe, we know our top 5. I think the other 2 was the Belgium league and whatever the other one, doesn't matter. Just top 7 leagues.
Okay.
There is one player who's been dribbled around the most. Can you name that player?
Dribbled around the most.
I'll give you a hint. This player is being dribbled around 3 times a game. That's the most.
Yikes.
In all 7 leagues. Just take a stab.
I'm assuming it's a Chelsea player.
Oh, 100% a Chelsea player.
Since we're on Chelsea here.
100%.
Dribbled around.
Want another hint?
Yeah, give me one more hint here.
He's the most expensive player of all time.
Our boy Enzo?
Our boy Enzo.
How could he do that?
He's the worst defensive player when someone's dribbling at him right now as of 2023.
Interesting.
Money well spent?
Probably not at the moment. I mean, I didn't really know anything about him before, the links to Chelsea and the World Cup and stuff. But even in the World Cup, I don't know that he's like a defensive midfielder, really. He's just like a deeper creative outlet, right? Like,
yeah. But I think the intention was to bring him in there to support.
I mean, that's where they're playing at,
right? So why bring in a player who you want him to do a certain job when he's never really been or maybe, I mean, we didn't watch a lot of his games when he was playing in his league, but we definitely saw the World Cup. And that's not where he was playing.
No.
He's feeding Messi up top, which damn does Messi make people look good.
Well, I mean, yeah, you give Messi any kind of ball and he can make something happen with it. So
do you think if you and I were on a team with Messi, we'd be successful as a team?
I mean, probably.
I think so. We're bodies, but I can chuck the ball down there and make him go get it.
Exactly. Like,
that's all you got to do.
We're both, 6 feet plus. Like, we got height on us. We can definitely impose ourselves a little bit. So Messi takes all the scoring. We'll just kind of hold it down, and
that's why I missed out on professional soccer because Messi wasn't on my team.
Yeah. Damn.
Chelsea won 1-0. First goal scored in a very, very long time. They officially have their goal of the month in March at a very early point. Will this be their only goal of the month? And I'm not here for the memes. I want your take. Do you think they'll only score? They only scored 1 last month.
I mean, yeah, and considering this goal came from Fofana, so like a defender.
Fofana Bonana on a set piece.
So, it's not a bad shout that this is the only one again. Like,
that's so crazy.
Their attack is still not getting great shots off. Kai Havertz is still playing striker for some reason. For the fun of it, I'm going to say this is their only goal this month.
Okay, well let's do a quick little search. They have Leicester, Everton. Well, that's it. Well, they do play Dortmund in Champions League, but so I guess that could technically count if they score. But we'll focus on Premier League then. Just those 2 teams, Everton,
Leicester
and Leicester. God, if they don't score against, I don't know. Everton could show up.
They lose the Everton game for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Whew.
Sean Dyche. Well, I mean, look, Everton had their little like relegation scrap at the weekend. They didn't get the win, got the draw.
That was a scrappy game. We don't have to talk about Chelsea too much because we've shit on them enough in the last month. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think because Everton are like still not out of relegation and haven't created any of that separation down there, they're going to come out the same way they played against Arsenal and just like super compact, super structured. Just a Sean Dyche team where it's hard to break down and they can hit you on the counters. And we've seen Chelsea's defense be lackluster before, and Kepa back there is better than he was for quite a while, but still is Kepa. Leicester's the question mark, I guess. Leicester did not play well this weekend.
Ever since we gave Leicester Team of the Week, they've lost every game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Maddison made so many good plays and set up a lot of goals, and Iheanacho could just not hit the target. And like even right at the end, Maddison floats in a nice ball to Sutar, and he just, instead of heading it like straight at the goal, he just kind of like pops it up and just like, I don't know. You need Leicester to show up. Everton, I think, is I don't know if Everton will win necessarily, but it's either going to be 0-0 or Everton win.
I'm writing this down. We're keeping this one.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Everton really quick in that game, because that was a really. I wish I could have watched the full game, but as a neutral, it looked really exciting. Like teams were going at it. Unfortunate for Everton, that rebound goal that Forrest got, like I hate those. Like, God, those are the worst, because Pickford had a great save, and then there's not much he could do about that ball going into the net. But that was a really fun game to kind of watch the highlights of, even though it was like condensed 15 minutes. Yeah. It was intense.
I mean, yeah, both teams were getting spicy
for sure.
It's definitely that like relegation battle. Not that Forest is in the relegation zone, but I mean, there's just so few points between that bottom half that like something had to happen, and I think the draw is probably almost like the worst outcome for both. Like, I know Everton will take the point, but to give away a goal on the little deflection like that is rough. And I don't know, pretty sloppy game from both sides for sure. But like,
yeah, it wasn't like clean, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I wish I had the chance to watch it all, but that was interesting. Again, a lot of the bottom teams. Southampton beating Leicester. JWP missing a PK. Surprising.
Not his first time.
Really? Do you have stats? You got numbers?
Not like anything significant, but I was just, when I put in the stats for our fantasy league, I noticed
I do recall.
Where are we at? That was his second one that we've recorded this season.
Yeah.
Dude can sink them from 25 yards out on the free kick, but not the PK. I saw a comment. They were saying they should just line people up in front of him. It goes
move him back like 10 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah, let him get comfy out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Leicester fell apart. West Ham, we said this could be their chance to get out of relegation zone, and they muffed it up.
Remember last week when I was like, is this the starting point of their season, or is this one-off? It was a one-off.
How you come out beating team 4-0 and then get beat by 4-0?
I mean, look,
Brighton's good.
Brighton's good. They I think been a little quiet for a few weeks before this, and West Ham just, they look so lazy, I guess, like just not up for the game, which is like wild. You think you smash 4 past the team, and that should kind of be your
motivation.
Motivation and like rally point of like, all right, like, see, we are a team that can perform well and score and do all this. And granted, it's Brighton, so you're not going to do that again, but like, you got to do something. But it was a weird one in that both starting keepers were not there.
Yeah, do you know why? I forgot to look.
Fabianski was out because he had like he got hit in the face or whatever last week.
Oh, I do. Okay.
But Sanchez, I think, was just dropped. He was on the bench. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, Sanchez, I don't think has done too much in the past few weeks, but
inter squad drama.
Something going on there.
Interesting. We'll have to pay attention to that because a couple players still have him, right? Sufi, I want to say he's on Sufi's team.
Yeah, let's.
He's not on Sammy's anymore. It might just be Sufi.
Just Sufi at this point.
Okay,
but I mean, yeah, he hasn't done too much. I mean, 6 clean sheets, 65 saves, where like everyone else is, up in the 80s. A lot of people over 100 saves. Like he's just kind of slowed down a little bit, which on one hand, Brighton's just been playing better, so it probably leaves him with less to do. But then when he is called into action, just fumbles the bag a little bit.
Yeah, wow. You take Nick Pope out of the goalkeepers, and it's very tight.
Oh, yeah. But Nick Pope, too, now is just lost his mojo since he got that red card.
Everyone might catch up. Very true. Other game, we got your boy Joachim Anderson getting the sub on your team, starting out that game hot with the OG. What'd you think of that?
I would like to tell Aston Villa you're welcome for me picking him. I mean, what the worst time to pick him, obviously, but
yeah, not a great game for him. 2 clearances, no blocks, no shots.
Yeah, like I when you sent me that with the own goal, I was like, ugh, that sucks. But dude normally gets 9, 10 plus clearances and blocks and stuff. But yeah, just didn't do much. And I went and watched the highlights. Like, I feel like Crystal Palace started really well. Like Zaha got a goal, but was called offside for it, and then they just didn't do anything. Like and then Decore gets sent off for 2 stupid tackles, and
I know what a fool.
I mean, yeah, just weird game. Like, I don't think Aston Villa played that great either. Just that own goal was enough, and I don't know. Palace didn't have the fight, I guess.
Weird, scrappy game.
Yeah.
Two teams who kind of, I don't know, I guess don't really know what to do at this point of the season. Like, I guess, like Aston Villa, like, they're all right. I guess they're trending upwards, but they're still in like a weird place where they win 3, lose 3, win 3. There's no like real consistency to progress. Yeah. They're just kind of hanging.
I mean, they got to get past Chelsea here now, right? They're on level points. Chelsea's been in 10th for like the whole season. Like, how you got to take advantage here and move into that top 10 at this point.
Yeah, but there's no real like benefits to being in the top 10, right? I mean, to say you are, to say you aren't, but I do agree with you.
For our sake, it pushes Chelsea down out of the top 10.
It just gives us more content.
Exactly.
It's free content every week when we can just shit on a team who's not doing too hot and should be doing a lot better. So yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
And then today's game, my boy Pinnock coming up.
Oof. Yeah,
that's what I signed him for.
I mean, yeah, Brentford came out hot. They were looking good. Pinnock gets the goal. I thought it might go down as an own goal because it did take a pretty crazy deflection.
Yeah.
But I'll give you the goal because that means I don't have to eat that own goal with Tim Ream.
Damn, so. two in 1 week would be pretty rough for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goal helps me a ton.
Tony got a PK. I think he's 10 for 10 in the Premier League. So
is he a player on your radar for next year?
It depends if he plays because he just got all these betting charges against him. I don't know. He's kind of weird. Like, he scores goals and plays well, but I think just maybe not consistently enough for me. Like,
he's the 3rd highest goal scorer in the Premier League.
Yeah, like I get that he's making good numbers, but it seems to be kind of in bunches rather than spread out over the season. So, fantasy wise, it's kind of rough on the points. I don't know. It definitely one to look at, like, especially if Brentford continues to play the way they have been playing, where it's, not the typical, like, newly promoted scared team. Like, I know that this is their second year in it, but they're looking much more confident, kind of like a Brighton this year, where it's like they want to go and play the game and not just kind of sit back.
For sure.
So, yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on, but I don't know. We'll see if he has to serve some crazy suspension.
Mitrovic he's still 5th in the league for goals scored. This is his 9th game where he hasn't scored. What the hell?
He was just putting it on for the World Cup and didn't do much in the World Cup either. But
Damn.
I don't know what happened.
He scored 2 in the World Cup. He scored in it. He did get knocked. He got a knock, and that I think has to still be lingering, because he used to just be a menace in the back line, torturing wing backs, forcing them to go play in the box where he's just towering over them. And it's just, I don't know, it doesn't exist anymore. He got a yellow card today, and I'm so happy he's not on my team anymore. But I really did think he could have been the difference maker. But Fulham is just like, I don't know.
Fulham's kind of, I don't know. They've hit like a weird patch. I think like they don't play terribly. I mean, we've definitely seen in past weeks they just start way too slow. Yep. Today I thought they started pretty fine. Like Brentford definitely came out better, but I don't know. Yeah, Mitrovic isn't doing much. Willian is kind of has like moments.
It's a lot to ask for Willian to be
but
the saving grace.
Yeah, not that he needs to be your saving grace, but like could, I don't know, contribute a little more in the build-up, I guess.
You sound like an Arsenal fan 2018.
Yeah, so you've been there, done that. You're right. Can't count on Willian.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fulham's still 7th. I think they're definitely going to fall lower. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Brighton's got 3 games in hand.
Wow, they have 3?
Yeah, they're on 23 played, and we're at 26. So, I mean, yeah, I think Brighton will definitely jump them. Brighton will probably jump Newcastle.
Wow, dude, they have a lot of ground to make up. That's crazy. 3 games.
So, yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get back on, like, pretty much everyone on the same, but guess not yet.
Patience.
Yet.
Well, should we nominate some teams, some players?
Yeah. Last thing we have to highlight. I don't know if you saw it, in Arsenal's midweek match against Everton. Odegaard had this like crazy slide back heel kind of
dude.
Just the style points for that alone.
That was amazing. If we had a non-goal play of the week, that would easily be it. Easily.
That's what I was going to say. Like, honorable mention for whatever this category would be. But
yeah, that's true. We don't have to make a goal of the week. It can just be play of the week.
It was just so smooth, too.
Yeah.
Slide and, like, kind of hits it around. And then, it not only keeps possession, but I think like a minute later from that is Martinelli's second goal. So that's a key play.
Every play counts.
That's it.
I would like to maybe incorporate like a save of the week or something, or like a huge, or like a goal line clear, like some or defensive play of the week, something to highlight the defenders, because we've been so offensively heavy. We got to reward our boys in the back because they're keeping the game alive too. So we'll consider that for the next couple weeks, our best defensive play, or
keep an eye out on that.
Whatever, it could be way more flexible than a goal. It could be a lot of things. So team of the week. We've already given it to them once. I think they deserve it again. I am going with Liverpool 7-0.
Yeah, you put 7 past a rival team.
Hello.
And that team's above you in the table and has been the team to beat. Whew. No other question, honestly.
Liverpool team of the week, player of the week.
This is gonna be hard. So I'm just gonna read you my list.
Okay.
So I had Saka for 1 goal, 1 assist in the Everton game. Reece Nelson for 1 goal, 1 assist in the Bournemouth game. And then, of course, the Liverpool front three, 2 goals, Salah, 2 goals and an assist. So if you had to pick one,
two assists.
Oh yeah, two assists. If you had to pick one, I'd say Salah, but I'm gonna put it out there that we just take the entire Liverpool front line.
I'm good with that. What's our acronym now? SNG.
G.
How can we make this happen? GSN.
GSN, Game Show Network.
I know, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, no. GSN.
GSN, I think that's your best one.
That was it was gonna be, if we had to choose one, it was gonna be Solid. But we've given out co-players of the week, and
I'm kind of picturing it as like Salah's in the front of the picture, and then the other two are behind him. Because like really, it was a dominant front line for the whole game. I mean, each player got 2 goals, and Salah with the 2 assists to like really bump him up above. But
yeah,
for a 7-0 defeat, you kind of have to go all out on this, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy with that option. So let's make that a reality, and then goal of the week. I said mine.
I think my pick is definitely Reece Nelson. Not only is it a great goal, but context of it is just
means everything.
If the goal is and context had to be like weighed, like this one is like I'd say 20% good goal, but like 80% context on it. Was like
last kick of the game has to go in. If not, the game's over. Simple as that.
And I will say my other shouts though, Saka versus Everton. He like kind of does this weird slide through the defensive line and then just like power shot with his weak foot in the near top corner.
He's so
incredible
sneaky.
Goal. Gakpo, I really like both of his goals. I think I'd take the second one over the first one, only because he kind of sets it up for himself.
Yeah.
Like he launches that pass to Salah. Salah sends Martinez running the other way, and then just Gakpo grabs the ball and has like a really tight angle, but still just like pops it over De Gea, and
that was sweet.
Incredible goal.
And then the celebration afterwards with the fans was just, oh my god,
yeah,
fucking wild, wild.
I mean, those are the ones I had down. Like, there were some other ones that were good, but nothing at that level.
Right. Shout outs, OG Bobby Firmino too for getting on the score sheet. Like,
great. I mean, great to see him scoring, especially after him coming out and saying that he won't be Liverpool anymore. But
legend for life. Yeah, Liverpool legend. 8 years.
Such a key component of Liverpool's success over the last.
He'll always be loved. Probably one of the most lovable players that I've seen, at least in my time with that team.
For sure, yeah.
He's never been in the limelight in a bad way. Great team player. Never complained about his role.
No, yeah.
And always works hard.
He did his role so well. Of like, I mean, for so many games, it was. He basically just drops back and throws it out to Salah or Mane, and they get the glory of it. But like again, he didn't complain. He's a real team player.
He might go down as the most underrated Premier League player there ever was on being on a title team.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. We've seen the games without him, and it's definitely a different Liverpool. But I mean, to see him come in. And not only get a goal against United, but like to do a
7
a goal that like shouldn't have been a goal. Like I don't know how that doesn't get saved, but pokes it through. And, man,
it's hot in here. 7.
I love the fans chanting, "We want 7! We want 7!"
Give the fans what they want.
Exactly.
Well, Chad, this has been a weekend of footy. That I think we'll remember forever. This is a highlight. Episode
I can only hope,
27.
I can only hope we have more weekends like this compared to the last weekend, because last weekend was a bummer. Like just kind of boring, and like honestly, I left last week's podcast and I was like, that was kind of shitty. Like
me too. I don't disagree with you. It was not there was just nothing to talk about. Yeah. It's like we had no context. We can't shit on Chelsea for 2 months and be like, well, back again.
Yeah. So I'm glad that that was a one-time deal, and things are up and excitement all over the weekend. And man, yeah, here we go. I mean, honestly, now that Arsenal away game at Liverpool, I think it's going to be way spicier than it was.
April 1st, right? April 1st? Or April 9th. Sure. I think it's the 9th.
I think 9th. I think City is the first.
I think it's Sunday. Yeah. We're ready. This house is going to be cooking. It's going to be cooking. Let me cook.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Chad. Episode 27. It's been real. Yeah. Glad to have you back. Have a great week. And we'll see you next Sunday.
That's it.
All right. With that, Hooligans pitch are out. Peace.